Do you like pancakes? Well, it has nothing to do with this weather forecast, but a side of rain, that we may have on the menu. Let's talk about it in this Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of December, 2024. I'm Texas Weather Center's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have rain on the way across parts of the state over the next several days with an active-looking pattern as we get into next week as well. But if it makes you feel better, no more significant crash of the cold fronts expected over the next several days. Yes, we will have some reinforcing shots of cooler weather across the northern half of the state this week, but at this point, it looks like our time with the Arctic air mass, as abbreviated as it may have been for us, is coming to an end. Let's get into the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Wednesday. Here you go. Isolated to scattered showers today. South Central Texas, South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, Lower Middle Texas, Gulf Coast, Coastal Bend, transitioning up into, well, really the eastern half of Texas Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Some heavier rain possible Wednesday afternoon across East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, the Upper Texas, Gulf Coast. At this point, severe thunderstorms are not likely. Not through his winter weather, or a lot of flooding for that matter, but some of this activity tomorrow afternoon could start throwing out lightning strikes along with maybe some small hail. You could see the best chance of rain will be east of I-35 by Wednesday afternoon. That's where the highest chance of rain totals in excess of 1/2 inch may also exist. Fire weather outlook from the Texas A&M Forest Service today. Wednesday and Thursday, mostly low to moderate across the state. A wee bit of higher fire danger possible this afternoon in south central Texas, but overall, fire weather conditions continue to favor a relatively tranquil pattern over the next several days. Let's take a look at the longer range American weather model, the global forecast system, as we go into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You can see the possibility of rain will continue Thursday. This model is actually a little more ambitious with rain totals across the Permian Basin, the Big Country, the Concho Valley Thursday. If this is correct, hey, you know what? Y'all may actually get in on some rain. You can see a wet Friday setting up across the eastern half of the state, especially along the north of Interstate 10, with the highest rain chances transitioning across, well, the eastern half of Texas into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. You can see, unlike yesterday's data, this model is now keeping rain chances ongoing into Sunday morning across the southeastern and eastern third of Texas. It still tries to clear things out by Sunday afternoon before a more potent storm system arrives into the state on Monday. You can see rain chances try to pick back up a bit on Monday. And you can see by the elongation of the blue wind arrows across the western portions of the state, late Monday into early Tuesday, we're going to have a lot of wind coming on into the state as well. We'll talk about that system more in a bit, but I wouldn't be shocked to see the overall specifics change on next Monday's system. Nevertheless, we are expecting wet weather. Well, really eastern half of Texas tonight to tomorrow. A little bit of a lull Thursday morning, rain Thursday night, Friday, Saturday into Sunday morning. The eastern 2/3 of Texas with the highest rain chances by Sunday morning, transitioning into the eastern third to the southeastern third of Texas. At this time, severe thunderstorms do not look likely. Can't rule out some thunderstorms, maybe with some small hail, and we will have some heavy rain with this activity as well, but this does not look like a severe thunderstorm setup, or for that matter, a winter storm setup. Just much needed rain. Here's the forecast rain totals over the next 5 days. This takes us from 6 a.m. this morning through 6 a.m. Sunday, the 8th of December. You can see rain chances and rain totals have expanded a bit further west with this update. 1/4 inch of rain possible along and east of a line from Henrietta to Breckenridge to San Angelo, down towards Alpine and points east. Not everyone's going to get that much rain, but still, that's the eastern half to the eastern 2/3 of the state. Hey, you know what? It's rain. We need it. The possibility of 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, South Central Texas, all the way down to South Texas, with the possibility of 2 to 3 inches of rain. Arklatex, East Texas, Northeast Texas, the eastern Brazos Valley, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle down through the Victoria Crossroads, the coastal plains, and the lower Texas Gulf Coast into the Rio Grande Valley. Can't rule out a localized rain total up to 4 inches, especially in East Texas. So, decent rain totals, especially for December, one of our drier months typically. Now, here's a look at the upper air pattern at 500 millibars off the European weather model. 500 millibars is typically about 18,500 feet above sea level, halfway between the surface and the top of the atmosphere. You can see we're expecting a couple of smaller short waves or storm systems to pass over Texas over the next few days into Saturday, and then the behemoth arriving Monday into Tuesday of next week. There are some timing differences still, as one might expect for a system projected to be a week out, but we're going to have to keep an eye on next Monday and Tuesday, I think. It's not a guarantee we're going to have to deal with anything like severe weather or winter weather, but at the least, we are likely to have a windy day with a dynamic upper-level storm system, and someone probably in the southern or southeastern United States is going to have to deal with some stronger storms with this system early next week. And then on the northern side of this, someone's going to get a blizzard. I don't think it's going to be us in Texas. I think it'd be more likely to be the Central Plains, but this could be a pretty dynamic storm system. And the storm train may continue after Monday into the second half of next week. In terms of temperatures, well, not looking at a significant cool down anytime soon in terms of another Arctic air mass intruding into our part of the United States. High temperatures this afternoon. We're looking at mostly 50s, western half of the state. Texoma, northeast Texas, maybe only struggling to get into the upper 40s around Texarkana with cool air damming coming in from the higher terrain mountains of Arkansas, filtering southwest through Arkansas, down I-30. Otherwise, we're going to see 60s. Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, Golden Triangle, the borderland, far west Texas around El Paso, and 70s. The lower and middle Texas Gulf Coast, the coastal plains, into the Rio Grande Valley this afternoon. Tomorrow, that cold air damming causing temperatures to remain cool. North Texas, northeast Texas, highs in the low to mid 50s. Otherwise, we're expecting a warmer day. The southern half of the state, highs returning to the 70s with 50s and 60s across the western half of the state. Thursday afternoon, cooler northern half of Texas. We're going to have highs upper 40s into the mid to upper 50s with 60s and 70s southern half of Texas, along with 80s in the Rio Grande Valley. Friday, only in the mid-40s for highs. Northeast Texas, a cold day with rain. We're expecting 40s and 50s, Texoma, DFW North Texas, all the way across East Texas, Northeast Texas, into the Golden Triangle. 50s into the Hill Country. 50s, 60s, western half of the state, with 60s and 70s confined to the lower and middle Texas Gulf Coast, Rio Grande Plains, Edwards Plateau, South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, into the coastal bend, and then a warm-up begins for Saturday and into Sunday, with temperatures in the afternoon, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah, we will have some temperature fluctuations, and yeah, there will be some chillier days, especially with the rain chances later in the week, but at this point, we are not expecting any frozen precipitation. The longer range temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, showing you here December 8th through the 12th. Above average temperatures look more likely than not across the western half of the United States, with an equal chance across the eastern half of the United States. For what it's worth, December the 12th through the 16th features above average temperature chances across a majority of the continental United States. So after a cold period to start the month, and then November, we're going to be entering a warmer period mid-month. These cycles are not unusual, and that'll just prepare us for another cold blast probably sometime in the second half of December across parts of the United States. Precipitation outlook. Above average chance For precipitation, eastern half of the United States, but again, December is typically a drier month for us in Texas, which means it doesn't take all that much for us to get on the upper end of the precipitation scale probabilities. So, hey, you know what? It just means we're looking at a little more active weather as we head into the next week or two, which is always good. It gives us something to talk about and ends a string of mundane days, which is always okay, as long as we don't have to listen to Baldy and Chief talks too much, because then that's just not good, and Baldy and Chief's throat will get sore, and then Baldy and Chief will develop a grumpy demeanor. And even though Baldy and Chief can be a grumpy old man in his early to mid-30s, we don't like to project that here on the Texas Weather Center, because what's the fun in that? Unless I get to wear a Grinch hat, which I do have somewhere around here. That'll be it for your Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. I want to thank everyone who's bought a 2025 weather calendar. That helps our photographers out quite a bit, and we enjoy getting that stuff out there. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the box here on the screen for more information on our 2025 weather calendar. You can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. We'll be back bright and early Wednesday with a new Texas Weather Roundup. Y'all make it a great Tuesday. God bless.